we're talking about how people do such terrible things in the name of God, this is how it starts. This is what happens. See, God knew that this was going to be a bad idea. That giving them a king was not going to work out well. God knew it was a bad idea. God said, no, we're not going to do this. But they kept pushing, and God finally gave in. Which makes you wonder, probably, how did it turn out? You know, what was the end result? Well, it turns out you can Google kings of Israel, and it will give you a handy list of which ones they were, and how good they were, and how bad they were. There were 42 kings of Israel. Only 10 of them were any good. Only 4 were really good. And those were offset by the 4 that were horrible. So the vast majority of them, 32 kings of Israel, were absolutely lousy. It went so bad that eventually, at some point, a few hundred years later, God had to tear down the whole kingdom and start over again. That's how well it worked out. But that's how it got started. It's the same way. You see, Jesus did not come to create a church with a hierarchy. He didn't come to create a church with structure. He didn't come to create an organization that had rules and stuff. This is how we get off track, is by trying to do it our way. We talk about sin as separation from God. That's what it is. That defines it. It's not just something that you and I do. It's something that we can do together when we collectively set off on a course that is not the way God intends for us. And that's what happened here. And that's what happened with the church. See, Jesus didn't create an organization. There was no structure to it. There was no policies. There were no rules. He just went up to some people and he said, hey, follow me. And they said, okay. And they went. And he taught them for 3 years. He taught them how to know what he knew, how to do what he did, so that they could be like him. And then he said, go find some other people. So they did. They went to some other people and they said, hey, come follow Jesus. And the other people said, okay. And they did. And they taught them how to know what Jesus knew, so they could do what Jesus did, so they could be like Jesus. And they were persecuted for it. They suffered for it. Their lives were put in danger. They were thrown to lions. You know, imagine if somebody came to you and said, come, follow Jesus. And you knew that the odds were pretty good that somebody was going to come after you for it. I mean, yeah, it's incredible that the church kept growing and growing and getting bigger and bigger and bigger until one day the group of people that had been on the outside, all of a sudden they were in the majority. They went, hey, wait a minute. We're in charge. We can do whatever we want. And that's when everything shifted. That's when the focus went away from teaching people to know what Jesus knew, to do what Jesus did, to be like Jesus, and it became about protecting what they had. That's what happened with the people of Israel. They wanted to protect their nation. They had this nation. They've been looking forward to it for a long time, and they thought, man, if we don't do something here, if we don't get a king, we don't get an army and all that stuff, somebody's going to come in and they're going to take us out. They're going to take us over. We got to protect what we have. And all these Christians in the early church who had been oppressed, who had been on the outside, all of a sudden they find themselves in charge. And now, well, now they've got something to protect. They've got something to watch out for. And the focus shifted. And keeping what they had became their mission. It was no longer about Jesus. It was not about a relationship with him so much as it was keeping power. And so to do that, they created all these rules, all these regulations. This person was in, this person was out. All the labels started happening. See, you're not going to hurt somebody's mom. You're not going to hurt somebody's brother, somebody's sister. But a heretic? Who likes a heretic? A witch? Nobody wants a witch. The minute we start labeling people by setting up, when we start setting up categories for who can be in and who can be out, we create labels for people. We put them in groups. And when somebody's boxed, when they're in a label, when you define who they are, when they stop being a human being, stop being a person, started being a thing, that you or someone else define it, well then, why not? Because there's not a person anymore. And that's how it happened. That's how it happened. And the focus was gone, and the original reason that the whole thing got started, to help people be like Jesus, was lost. The reason that church existed got lost. And you know, it's not just something that happened a long time ago. I mean, it still happens today. Ralph Reed, back in the news, my favorite, love Ralph Reed. He started the, what is it called? The Faith and Freedom Coalition. There you go. The Christian Coalition died, so he started the Faith and Freedom Coalition. I went to their website. These are the virtues that they're promoting. Okay? These are good. Faith, hard work, marriage, family, personal responsibility, helping least among us. Those are good. I like those. I like it that people work hard. I like marriage. I'm married. It's good. All these are good things. The stated goal is to keep America great. I like America. You know, I love this country. It's a great country. I'm blessed to be here. Good. But let's think about that for just a second. Why was America created? What was the point? What was the reason? Why is it here? It is here because of life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, unalienable rights that we have that were being violated. I wonder if it's possible for Ralph Reed to consider the possibility that maybe his pursuit of these virtues, these values, is going against the reasons that America was created in the first place. Because for Ralph Reed, the goal is America. The goal is not life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It's not freedom, it's America. In his mind, the two cannot be separated. And that's what happened with church. People forgot. They got confused. They thought that there was no way that you could have the mission of Jesus Christ, that you could grow to be like Jesus without church. There's just no way. It's not possible. The two became one. But here's the thing. It is happening.